Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Hilltop HomeGrown. Today we're going to look at planting some seeds into a cell tray. We're going to do radishes and beetroot, and we're going to have a look at seeing how we harvest the radishes as well, and also the best ways of going about watering the plants as well. So let's get going. Right, so here we are at the potting table, and what we're going to do is plant up a couple of radishes and also a few beetroot, because I'm probably not going to go through the whole cell tray of these with the radishes just on their own. So all you need is one of these, which is like a water trough, stops all the water running away, and a cell tray like that. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is a 40 cell tray. Put the plants in. Now the way I've designed the potting table, which I've built, which I'll go through in another video, is that it's got slats in it, so all the soil falls through, and you put your compost underneath, so when you go in you don't have to be worried too much about making a mess. So simple. The first thing you do with planting seeds, compost in, like that, just firm it down a bit, make sure you got something for the roots to grow into. About halfway up each cell. Like that. So it's not an exact science, it's just something that you kind of learn as you go along. So about halfway up, it doesn't matter hugely what it is you're going to be doing. And there we go. Some of those bits too full, but as they pat them down, they'll be fine. Right, so then these are the radish seeds. Do 2 to 3 with radishes to a pot, because when they grow, when you're transplanting them out, they're good and ready to go for you, because it helps them just bulb up against each other. Method I learned from a chap called Charles Dowding. Any of you like looking at him, he's worth a look up on YouTube. Have a look at his stuff. I'll probably put a link actually to one of his videos about seeding in the description below. So just 2 to 3 to a tray, to a plug rather, to a cell, and that's me out of the radish seeds then. And then the rest of them I'm going to plant. It's going to be our beetroots. If you like having beets, they're good, quick growing. I mean, radishes will grow about 28 days. Beetroots are a little bit longer, but not by a huge amount. Again, they're a relatively quick growing crop. Just 1 to a thing for beetroots. So you can do 2 or 3. Some people do 2 or 3. I prefer just doing 1 with the beetroots, as they do tend to germinate quite well, I've found, for us anyway. So those. Now the next thing, just sprinkle your compost back on top. Again, I'm not using expensive compost. I'm not using anything. I haven't had the time to do a homegrown compost, so to speak. This is just stuff I bought from the local garden centre, and it's stuff that is readily available, quite cheap. I think it's about £8 or £9 a bag. So that's all nicely done there. Now when it comes to watering, the advice I would give you on watering is, if you're going to use a rose, like a standard watering can with a rose on it, turn the rose upside down and it sprinkles it more on like water. We actually have a mister, so it kind of mists the water on, and it's much better. And another way, especially when the plants are growing and they've got a few roots, put the water in the corner underneath like that, and then the water soaks up rather than damaging any of the surface there for you. So this is going to go in with our other cells trays that we've got ready and done now. I'll give you a quick show of those, and then we'll go from there, and I'll show you actually how to harvest radishes. We've got some radishes we planted in January. We'll show you how to harvest those as well. Right, so here we have the cell tray in with all the others. We've got a nice bed here full of cell trays ready, growing and things like that. We've got some onions and stuff already coming through. ready to go. This is our mister. It's quite simple, got a little nozzle on the end which sprays a mist rather than spraying like a direct kind of force on it with the like the forceful watering can. And quite simply you pump it up like that, spray it like a gun, and it sprays down on the seeds. You want to give them a good dampening down when you got you know, when you're putting new seeds and things in, just to make sure that they're really wet and they're good, got plenty of moisture to keep them growing to begin with. And that's the main thing advice I can give to really help the germination there. Make sure they're in a warmer environment. There are some plants obviously prefer a warmer germination temperature, and I really would emphasise that, you know, with the warmer germination stuff, you can use a heated propagation stuff, take them inside, put them next to a radiator, things like that, until they're really kind of strong, kind of established plants ready to go into the planting for you. And that's probably the best advice I can give in terms of seeds. So now we're going to go look at what happens like with your radishes in terms of harvesting your radishes, and we'll have a look and see what you can do for that. Right, so here we are at the radishes. Now the radishes, I say they only take about 28 days, so if you're wanting a quick turnaround on your crops, these are a perfect thing to grow for yourself. You can grow them in quite small space as well. They're quite very small plants. To harvest them is very easy. I'm not even going to show you a close-up of it. It's that easy. You just look quick, pull, they're out of the ground, job done. Put them in your bowl like that, and they're good to go. Give them a quick wash, chop them up, put them in a salad. You can eat the leaves and you can eat the root on those. If you harvest them earlier on in the year in the cooler weather, you're more likely to get a slightly sweeter taste. In the summer it's a bit more peppery and things like that in the warmer weather. So that's just something to bear in mind in terms of your flavour that you're going to get from them. Again, just really simple, and they're so quick and easy. So look, quick, easy to harvest. You just pull them straight out of the ground. They're quite shallow rooted, and the bulbs, like the roots as they come up and they bulb up, do kind of push themselves through the surface. So you're quite happy there with those. But 28 days, they're a really good kind of starter crop, especially if you want to get kids and things like that involved. Really good, really useful kind of thing to have it growing in your garden there. So that's it. What we'll do in the next video is we'll look at the potting table, how you make a potting table, and the ins and outs of doing it. It's just nothing complicated. I made mine completely out of scrap wood, and that's what we'll have a look at next time. So thanks very much for watching. Like, subscribe, all those kind of things. See you next time.